Hello everybody, welcome to the Andy Show. Andy here with an update, and we're also going to get into some of the questions I've been getting, and finally a little news about a side venture that I'm in. Alright, so as you can see, our portfolio, we are sitting at a market value of $3,171,782,431 dinar. And this has just steadily been growing. Part of that, if you notice right here, is Baghdad, Bank of Baghdad. If you notice other videos from the past, you'll see that we had 100 million shares, and they gave us an additional 20 million shares, so that upped it just a tad. As you can see, it's not even worth half a dinar, but still, they gave us 20 million, and that adds to it. Our cash on hand is still sitting at 165,958,529 dinar. And we are also, let me pull that up, I've got to send in a release so that they can collect our shares for BBOB. We've got dividends, and I know I should have had that pulled up. Actually, I'm on the wrong file here, so bear with me another second. Alright, our BBOB dividends. $42,280, as you can see right here, and I'll get this release over to them today. I don't know how long it'll take, but there's another 42 million, which will put us over 200 million in purchasing power, and everything appears to be looking good over there. As you can see, our stocks here, Asia Sales now trading at 9.4 dinar. Our average cost is, let me see here, not sure where they're showing it now. Oh, here's my average cost, 7.534 dinar. And it's trading at, so we're up almost 2 dinar, 30, around 30%, I guess. But some of our stocks are, this showing blanks just simply means that there was no trading on that specific stock. And IBSD, we still can't trade it for some reason because they're still at the 49%, which they supposedly removed, and this would be a good time to buy, I think, but I will try to send in another buy order for that as well. Anyway, we're sitting in a good spot on this, and as you can imagine, I get a lot of emails, phone calls, text, but one of the questions I've been asked is, has the ISX trading volume been higher lately? How would you describe it? The volume is up some. I don't keep up with the trading volumes very much, but so I really can't describe it either way. I do not put an incredible amount of time into this because we are simply waiting for a rate change, and I just don't have the time to spend doing this. This is not what I'm doing for a living, as you can imagine, with not buying and selling shares or blocks any longer, other than answering questions and sending in the forms to collect dividends and things like that. There's just not a lot going on, and in 2023, the hours I spent on this compared to the money that was made is less than $1.25 an hour. I'm talking $1.25 an hour. So I spend a lot of time on it, but only on the administrative side, not the trading side. Okay, the next question was, does your broker trader on the ground local offer any insights to real occurrences in country? If so, what? No, they do not. I do not communicate with my broker about anything other than trading or something to do directly with the stock market. They will not and do not communicate about anything happening or going on. We are with the most reputable firm in Asia, and they stand above any kind of gossip, any kind of news. They expect you to go find that on your own. They just simply answer questions related to the account. So I don't have anybody in Iraq personally. I do not keep up with that. I simply get news like everyone else does. I don't have an inside track. The next question, will there be any opportunity to ride some of the stocks higher once the IQD changes value? If so, how or where? We're going to ride all of them. What we are going to pull from our account once the value of the IQD is at least $1, or the value is at least 1-to-1. So what we will do at that point is we will pull dividends when we receive them. So your stocks here are going to remain there for some time. I'm not going to predict the future. I don't know how we're going to play this out, but I can tell you that we're only going to be pulling dividends that we receive. In other words, what was it I just showed about the BBOB dividends? We don't have that much here, and we may not pull it out if it's that small of an amount, but was it 42,000? We may wait until Asia Sale pays out or IBSD or one of the other ones, and we'll let the funds sit there. The dividends may just sit there, but as far as the stocks themselves, we have what we have, and those will continue, the ones that pay dividends. We may end up swapping or selling off some of these that do not pay dividends, because that is what this group was built for, was to get dividends, not just have stocks in a stock market. One thing that we will continue to do is draw the dividends and try to get as much dividends as we can. I may or may not at some point increase our holdings, and we're going to have to see exactly what happens here. And I've talked about this in the past as well. When the rate changes, whether it's 1-to-1, 3 something to $1, whatever it may be, and I always just use 1-to-1 as a reference point, not as anything that suggest that I believe that's what it's going to come out at or anything else. It's just a reference point. With the number of shares that Asia Cell has at $1 or $3, that puts them in a multi-trillion-dollar company, and that simply isn't going to be accurate. And there's no way for them to. It would to me it would crash the market, because people realize if it went 3-1, and now you got a multi-trillion-dollar company, you need to sell as quickly as possible if you can get that. I think there's going to be some sort of a reverse split or something, because they can't be more valuable than Amazon and Disney combined. It cannot. It's just impossible. And that may be some of the things that they have to work out before they do increase the value. You very well know they are entering the WTO, and there were more and more articles coming out about them ascending to the World Trade Organization. To be in the World Trade Organization, they cannot have a program rate, which is what they have right now. They have to have a tradable rate. In other words, it would be on they're listed on Forex now, but it's not the market that directs the value. That our dollar falls or rises daily. It's falling more than it's rising, but the market dictates the value, and based on the economic events that are taking place. It is outside control that gives us the value. With Iraq, the central bank determines their value. So how they play that, what's going to happen, I still can't tell you. I'm no better at economics than a lot of you. Some of you are probably far better than I am. So I can't tell you exactly what's going to take place. That's what we're waiting on, and we'll have to wait and see. All right, so I do not expect to sell these stocks immediately. Whatever happens is going to happen, and we are going to pull the dividends as they're paid to us. Whether that's, and I will set a minimum. I don't know exactly what that will be at this time, but I don't want to pull funds and send everybody $13. So we're going to have to be smart about it and be useful and not waste everybody's time. I don't want to send tiny amounts. If we have to wait a little while for more dividends to appear before we pull funds, then that's what we'll do. I would like to see that we pull anything that would be, say, at least between 500 and 1,000 minimum per block, something like that. And like I said, that hasn't been established, since we don't know exactly what's taking place, how it's going to happen, and all that. A lot of questions cannot be answered at this time, not knowing what is going to happen. But we will definitely be writing these up if that's what takes place. All right, the next question was, what do you make reference to in your latest November 30th video, that wasn't the latest, about exchanges and such in a Texas in-person meeting? About what did you make reference to in your latest November 30th video about exchanges and such in a Texas in-person meeting? Okay, I don't completely follow that question. What I had talked about is when we have a value to the dinar, and I can't do it immediately. There's going to have to be a little planning go into it, was to host a weekend, a 3-day probably, 3-day event where everybody can come in, those that want to or choose to. Some of you may want to remain very private, and I completely understand that. But those that want to meet up, I want to have trust people there. I want to have wealth managers. I want to have banks. I want to have investment companies, all sorts of financial people there. You can meet with them individually. They will speak in we'll have some symposiums or conferences, something to where they can explain different things to you. But moreover, I want to have a kind of a 3-day party. I get to know you, you get to know me. Not a lot to know about me, but anyway, it just to celebrate. We've been waiting a lot of years for this. A lot of years. Well, I guess it's almost 21 years now that some of you have held on to Dinar. For me personally, it's going to be 12 years in May. And we have had no choice, but our patience is going to be paying off. And we just need to celebrate the fact that we have held on this long. And I'm not great organizationally, so I will have some help setting up everything. It will be in the Dallas area. It will be a way for people to meet, to talk, to learn before they get that first dividend check, and have some ideas what they want to do, how they're going to do it, give them some options in managing wealth. If you're like me, I know that some of you have already had to deal with wealth management and things like that. You have more money than, or you're well into the 1%, okay? And you may already know exactly what's going to take place, but most of the people in this group, some have had a modicum of success, some have been up there and fallen, some are in the trenches and have been there their entire lives, have no idea what to do with an excess of money coming into them. And it's those people that we want to give the options to. They'll have to make their own decisions, but this is going to be similar to possibly winning the lottery, okay? Or that's the way I kind of see it. Many, many, many of the lottery winners are back to broke and struggling. At least with this, it may be several months or a year, but we should have dividends coming in annually. So if you make a lot of bad decisions, you'll suffer for possibly a few months or something, but at some point we're going to have more funds coming in. Where with the lottery, if they do the cash option, they blow it and it's done. They had no sense of management and managing their wealth. I can't even imagine going through many, many millions of dollars. Give me $1 million and I'm set for life. So, I don't have champagne lifestyle, never will, but this gathering will at least give you an option. All you have to do is get here and get a room. The rest of it is going to be completely free, and we're going to try as quickly as possible to get as many different finance options for you. And you can listen to what those people have to say and make your own decisions from there. But that's what the personal meeting is. It's going to be a, whether you want to say a conference, a party, whatever it may be. But I don't want to just have people come here and celebrate, have a good time, and go home. I want to feed them with as much information as possible. So we'll have to see how all that goes and how it plays out. You will have plenty of time because dividends won't be paid out for a while. Now this 165 million, say we pull 150 million, we can do that rather quickly. And I am going to try to have the event set up prior to dispersing those funds, but I don't know how it's all going to work out. But I don't know that I've talked about exchanges. But let me go to the fifth question and see what we're going to do about it. How would any exchange discussion be more advantageous than at any redemption center? How would any exchange discussion be more advantageous than at any redemption center? Don't even completely understand that question. I don't know what a redemption center is. I've heard talk about it. I don't know why people think that this foreign currency would be treated any different than any other foreign currency. Are there exchange centers now for the Canadian dollar, for any foreign currency? Are there exchange centers? I mean, if you're talking about like the Cash America or whatever that one place is, and they've got them in airports and all that, is that an exchange center? It's a currency exchange? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, redemption center. I think the 1-800 numbers in these redemption centers are the most foolish thing anybody has done. It's been a scam, in my opinion. Only my opinion, guys. They've been setting up redemption centers in Las Vegas. If they're still there, they've been there for, 10, 11 years? Maybe longer. But the redemption centers are popping up everywhere. Come on, guys. Really? They've been doing that, and this same garbage has been regurgitated year after year after year after year. And 800 number, why would you call it 800 number? You simply go to a currency exchange at any bank that has a currency exchange, and you treat it like you do the peso, the yen, the yuan, the whoever, whatever. I don't fall for all these nonsense gimmicks like a redemption center. And redemption centers definitely charge more than a bank. So I don't know which one is going to be more advantageous or not. Again, people, I'm not the know-all. I simply started this group at the urging of someone else. I'm no more knowledgeable on any of this than any of you. And I do have a lot of people that think I have an inside to certain information. I do not. I don't have anything more available to me than what is available to you. Okay, I just want to make that very, very clear. But I have found that it's a scam or fraud if you have to call somebody to set up. Now, you may have to call your bank. I don't see how or why. But number one, you've got to find a place that does do currency exchange. Okay, and most banks, if your Chases and your Bank of Americas and all that, the local branch may not be able to help you. You may have to go to a specific branch where they do currency exchange. And they may say, well, we'll take it and send it over, da-da-da-da. My dinar, it's not leaving my site until I have a receipt. So again, I have these. I don't even know if I can find them now. I may have to take them again, but I've got pictures of all my dinar. I've got front and back pictures. And when I get ready to go in, I won't take all my dinar with me. I will take some of it with me. And again, I'll take more pictures of what I am depositing or what I am exchanging, just to make sure the process goes smoothly. And once I know that what I'm being charged is correct and I'm getting the right rate or whatever, at that point I'll take a little bit, then I'll take the rest in. But again, everything that we do on my end is through a trust. I know that's the case with several of you, and there's no way for me to sit here and pretend like I know exactly what's going to happen and exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you I know I have the answers. Here's what you must do this far ahead of the game. How far ahead? I don't know. It certainly appears that with them joining the WTO and all the talk about the dinar and the dollar and how they're going to make it so that the dollar is no longer viable in the country. There are so many things going on, and so much what I see as preparation. We don't know the final catalyst for this event to take place. Anybody tells you they know exactly, then stop listening to them. But they are and have been preparing for some time. I personally don't see anything happening until the U.S. releases their stronghold on Iraq. Until the U.S. is no longer taking in the funds from oil sales through Iraq. Once Iraq has total control over everything in Iraq, then this happens. Who knows? It's only a speculation on my part. It's only stuff that I have seen that I can guess as to why it hasn't already happened. So everybody has their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I am not here to tell you that if you give me some insight that I tell you no, that's not true. I don't know enough about economics or what exactly is going on to be able to say, here's what's happening, here's why, here's how it's going to play out. Nobody knows. So if you have ideas, you're welcome to share those ideas. Doesn't mean that you're right. We've been wrong more than we've been right so far. We just knew it was going to happen on this date, or by this time. And I truly believed that on or before January 1st, there's nothing in the rules. There are no rules in this. So there's nothing that says they have to do it at X, Y, or Z. It has to do it. It has to happen under these conditions. It has to happen here. It has to happen there. There are no rules with this. And even if you compare to Kuwait, which is impossible because it's 1,000% different circumstances, but even if you were to do that, there are other mitigating factors in this that will not require it to play out the same way. So just don't look at any of that. Know that to me, a redemption center is a total sham and a scam. Never, ever, ever let your dinar out of your sight. don't send it to anyone else to do anything for you. I don't know how many, I've never, it's not a question that I ask. And I don't know what percentage of you have actual physical dinar that are in the group. But either way, I know several of you do have dinar. And I know that some of you have no dinar. And that's fine. So when I talk about exchange centers and all that, it has nothing to do with us as a group. I'm just talking about those who own physical dinar. And we're going to see what needs to be done, how it's going to play out. Okay. I don't want you to think that I can come across as a know-it-all when I know nothing. I am not the expert. I simply gave people an opportunity to get into the market, and we're going to play off of the effects of that decision. Okay. So, what I think about what's happening, what's going to happen, has zero to do with anything. It doesn't matter. Truly, it doesn't matter what I think, because I don't have any answers for you. And I don't know if that makes me an incompetent leader of this group. So be it. But again, we have to just be patient and go from there. But I don't really understand that last question about how would any exchange discussion be more advantageous than at any redemption center. If I knew what you were asking, I might be able to give you a different answer, but to me, there's no such thing as a redemption center. There never will be such a thing. Do you really think that people have been waiting for, ever how long that people have been buying dinar, waiting for it to go back, and all this talk for years and years about a redemption center, that they haven't gone completely broke? Paying rent or paying, a bit of business. Is this all they're going to be in existence for? Is to swap dinar? And, what if 10 million people have dinar? They're all over the country. You think they're going to fly to a redemption center somewhere else just to get scammed? To exchange their dinar? Come on. And most people, and just a wild guess, but I'm guessing more than not have probably 1 million dinar or less. I know someone with well over 100 million dinar. But those people are far and few between. There are going to be people out there with just a 25K note, maybe 100,000, 500,000 dinar, and they're going to go in, they're going to exchange once. You think they're going to go to all the expense to build a redemption center? Unless they're charging you an outrageous fee, then what's the point in them even going to the trouble? Unless this is an add-on and they just call it a redemption center, but it's actually a whole different business that they're doing, and they're doing the redemption on the side. I don't know. Anyway, I laugh when I see people talk about redemption centers, and it's not to be insulting. I just find it hard to believe. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. I am constantly getting texts, emails, and phone calls about where my account stands. What is the status of my account? Folks, whatever you put into this group, be it 3 blocks or I have one with, I think, 500 plus blocks. No matter what a number of blocks you got, that's what you have. You paid $100 per block, plus fees, but you paid $100 per block. Okay? That's what your account is worth. You are not invested in Iraq. You're not invested in Iraqi stocks. You are not invested in the Iraqi stock market. You invested in the group. We as a group turned around and put that money into the stock market. Okay, so some people ask, and a month later they're asking again. We're not sending out monthly statements. There's nowhere online to go look at your account for two reasons. Number one, I don't have the wherewithal to build an account system to where you have the ability to log in and all that. And I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to have anyone have the opportunity to hack in. If they can hack into every government site out there, they can hack into banks, and they can hack. Don't you think that I might not have the ability or the funding to build a secure site? And why bother? You know you got 3 blocks, you know you got 10 blocks, you know you got 18 blocks, you know you got 61 blocks. That's you. Okay, nothing changes until there's a change in the value of the dinar. So why put that online? I mean, I've got it in Google Sheets, and that will be good enough. I'm not going to put it out there where I have to pay, $100,000+ a year to keep it secure. Just not going to happen. Unless you guys want to pay, $150 a month in service fees or something to cover this, because I'm not making any money if you're not making money. You see, I mean, we're not still selling blocks where I'm making that $10 per block, unless somebody wants out and things like that. But I mean, that's very minor. So I don't have an unlimited budget. I don't have a budget at all, really. So there are things that are being done for, number one, for cost purposes, but for two, for security. I don't want to deal with being hacked. So right now I have everything, all of the information, everything that's been done, I have everything in hard copy and on not online, but through, that is not shared with anyone at this time. So I can't get any more private or secure than that. But I don't think you would want someone to hack and put your name out there that you've got this much in shares or this many blocks, and once things start happening and you become a target. I'm a very private person. I don't want you knowing my business, and I would think most of you are the same way. And putting everything online where you have access to see something that isn't changing until there's a change in the rate doesn't make sense to me, doesn't make cost sense, and it doesn't make security sense. So I hope that kind of explains it. Again, you don't have anything in the stock market. Woolard Enterprises has something in the stock market. You get to benefit from what they have in it based on what you sent to Woolard Enterprises, okay? And I know that I'll get lots of questions about that, but again, you invested in the group. The group is the one that invested in the market. The group will pull those funds from the market at some point, whether dividends or whatever. And the group will then distribute based on your investment into the group. I'm trying to explain it in maybe in a different way, excuse me, where you'll see what I'm talking about. Maybe that sparks something. I don't know. I've explained it ad nauseum, and I still get so many questions about it. Want to make sure we go over. I've had people get upset that I'm not returning calls. Folks, I'm sorry. Again, this is not a full-time job for me. I am doing other things. I'm trying to keep a roof over my head. This is not providing that, and it won't. Excuse me, I'm not sure. I'm on the backside of a cold, so that's why you're hearing all this. But this is not, for me, an income. So I have to do things that provide an income. And there are times when I have so many to return. There's times when I may not call you back. If you're calling to call and you have a question, either text or email. And if I haven't responded to you, then you're welcome to email again. And I apologize. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's not that I'm trying to be rude. It's not overwhelming. It's just I can't get to everyone, and the phone is probably the least likely way you're going to get in touch with me. So again, if you have questions, simply email me. I'd prefer that over text, but and I know I couldn't tell you how many texts I've got that I haven't looked at yet. So it happens. And there are days where I can check a text as soon as I get it. Other days I'm on the phone, I'm doing this, I'm doing 3 things at once, and I don't have time. And before you know it, it's been a few days since I looked at this text. This 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20 texts that I got 2 days ago. So, it's not from lack of concern. It's not from lack of trying. There are times when it is beyond what I can do, when my first priority is keeping the roof over my head. Okay. So, and again, I'm not complaining. If you still feel the need to try to call, you're more than welcome to. My phone doesn't even ring if I don't have you in my contact list. So it would go directly to voicemail anyway. I want to say that was everything that I wanted to get out there today. And as most of you know, I do storage auctions, and I don't sell on eBay. Rarely do I sell on Marketplace. I can't even sell on Marketplace. I have to have my wife do it. But I've sold a little bit on OfferUp, but I don't like eBay. I don't like. We did it years and years ago. I tried selling on eBay, and there's so many low-life thieves out there that it's just not worth it to me. I don't want to go through the hassle of fighting when somebody says, "Oh, it didn't ever show up," or it, and these places are cater to the thief rather than the one that's being stolen from, and I just don't do it. But I am going to do. I just went blank. WhatNot. And I've been trying to prepare for it for between 2 and 3 weeks now, and it's a slow process for me because I don't have much time to devote. But eventually what I will do is probably it may be a month. So within the next month, I'll set up my first WhatNot auction. It is a live auction. And if you like collectibles, whether it's, I've got coins and cards, figurines. I mean, there's just a lot of different things that I have. I have to figure out what I want to go first, And I'm going to start off with probably 25 to 50 items. I don't know yet. Basically, all I do is you'll be able to see the items. Everything will start off bidding at $1, and you'll be able to purchase those items. WhatNot is it's actually a really fun site if you haven't seen it yet. I haven't set up an account, but once you do, if you set up the account, and I'll give you further information. Probably the next video I do will be setting up the account and showing you what the account is. So when you go in and you set up an account, and I'm guessing they're still doing this, new account holders get a $15 credit. So if everything starts off at $1, if it only goes to $5, you can actually literally get something for nothing. And we'll just have to play it by ear and see how it goes. But if you're into collectibles or other items like that, primarily collectibles is what I'm going to be focused on, from sports cards to coins to stamps to you name it. I'm just now even starting to see something going, okay, I need to use this for a WhatNot auction. So I have 3 warehouses that are pretty packed, and I readjust based on the flea market that I'm going to, and try to get ready for that. A couple of months ago, in December, I guess, I had November or December. Anyway, I have where I take my trailer full of product and everything is $1 or less, and it's crazy. It's fun. It's tiring, but it is a blast. And I didn't do it this past month. I did just regular products. I make more when I sell just regular stuff because I have, $50, $100, $200 items. You don't have to sell very many of those, as opposed to selling to 100 people or 50 people buying 2 items. So anyway, but the dollar items is fun. I have $20, $30, $50 items that go for $1. That you might pay $20 at a garage sale for, and I'm selling it for $1. But again, once I have, and it may be right after this next flea market that I go to, I'm going to do everything for $1, and then that'll give me room to really get in and sort out what I want for the first WhatNot auction. But I will keep you posted on that. That'll be the next video probably that I put out. But know that we are sitting at 3,171,000,000 dinar. So it has gone up. And in my opinion, strictly my opinion, it's going to continue to do so until that change happens and we figure out exactly what they're doing with their dinar and with the market to adjust to that price of dinar. So until then, I hope everybody has a great rest of your week and stay warm. I know most of the country is very cold. And we'll go from there. We will talk to you soon. God bless you all.